So how's it going, everybody? So today what we're doing, we're going to be replacing this air conditioning unit with this one. I just now realized looking at it, it's not the right one because this part has a cover on it, but you could take the cover off. Here, one moment. I said I was going to replace the whole thing. However, the new one had this cover on it, right? Which wouldn't fit under this cover. Just has the illustrations versus this illustrations. So it's something different. So what I did is I just took off the cover. That's really about it. And now we're going to be removing this thing. And to remove this thing, we're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. Phillips head screwdriver, pointy end. And there's two screws on the bottom here you want to remove. So I'm going to get started with that. Boom. So 2 screws in the bottom. Make sure you keep those somewhere. You most definitely don't want to lose them. And then what you want to do is you want to get like a small little pry tool. If you don't have one of these, you can get a flathead. Make sure you put like tape or something around it. And you want to pry out the clock here. I broke it. Oh, there we go. Alright. There we go. So, boom. Got the clock unplugged. When I was prying it out, broke it here, but it was already broken on both corners when I took it out. I didn't even pry over here and it broke, so. It's actually something to be weird about. Maybe I might change this out later. Here's well, there's a clock though. I set that down. It gives me hope for the rest of this thing. But right behind here, there's a Phillips head screwdriver in there as well. Get your Phillips head and just unscrew it. Alright, boom. Now once you get that out, you want to unplug that. You want to carefully, and I want to make sure I mention this carefully just because do not just do what happened last time. So this little plastic bezel right here should just, in theory, pop out. There we go. Maybe one pry? Yes. That was way easier than trying to take out the clock for sure. Alright, we can't see it, but you want to unplug your old climate controls back here. And boom, so now you got the whole cluster part out. So inside here, you're going to have 4 screws. You want to remove all 4 of those screws, you know, with your Phillips head screwdriver. Alright, so after you get all the screws out, there's actually a 5th screw up there. It wasn't one I took out, but then it comes right out. Wow, that is nasty looking. Look at that. Jeez. But so this thing I want to replace with this one. However, I'm wondering, because see, these covers were a little different, so I'm wondering if I have to actually swap over the cover. It was weird. I got this from another 2000 cord. So the fact that it's like not really with it is confusing. Oh. Alright, so I have the EXL version of the Accord. Alright, so this is like the higher trim level. So the higher trim level one, these right here are glass. And they light up. The whole glass does. On the base model one, they don't light up. I mean, you just have a light here and the light just shines through on the bracket. So I guess it's just for a higher end appearance. But for this one, there's little clips here. I'm just going to swap this board over and swap to the other one. So right when I was taking it off, I realized a lot more pieces were broken. There's these little hinges up here. Yeah, they were all broken. There's a little cover for it. So I'm going to go ahead now, take these dials off and try to remove these glass pieces and try to move them over. So yeah, so I got this glass part off. Yeah, this thing is for sure made of glass. But after I took it off, here's the old one, right? You had this little like area. That's the same thing on the new one. Alright, so I got the other one off too, the like climate control vents, but yeah, that was weird. I was just sitting here thinking like, why would Honda go through the work? I also thought of, I could have just took these buttons off of here and just moved the buttons onto the old one, because that was the only part that was broken. But like, I didn't realize that until after I just stripped the old one of everything. So I'm just gonna say forget that idea. I'm just gonna go back to rebuilding this one. These were stuck. What was I? These were like stuck on here with some sort of adhesive. I'm not gonna really put that on there because the dials also kind of like holded it on there. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna actually wash these little faces up. Maybe get like a little towel for this to wipe it down. And whatnot, and clean this part off. Just so everything looks not ugly. Alright, so you can wash away the dirt, but you can't really wash away the wear. So they look good, but not perfect. This thing right here doesn't look too bad either. It has a little sticky thing up here I'm going to try to take off, but I realized that was going to be way more hassle than what it's worth. Then the new little cluster here, these little panels, I'm going to like put them back in. So they kind of drop in. Even if this is the one that didn't have the glass ones, but they still kind of just drop in like that. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to use the old knobs. The old knob from the new one, I guess, from the base model. I'm going to use the new knobs, but the new knobs have like a spring on it, and then has like an I shape on the inside there. Versus the old one had like a T shape, and there's no spring, but there's a black piece. But since we're using the gauge cluster that these came off of, I'm just going to use these. And these little like metal pieces, they're like a D shape kind of. There's like a flat end, flat side to it. So on the inside, same thing applies. There's like a D shape. So what we want to do is you want to just kind of get them, try to match them, and then just slowly press it on there. There we go. Ta-da. And then that D shape is what keeps it aligned. So next, this little front piece, obviously line it up. Then you want to put it back on that and snap it down. So you want to make sure it snaps down to these little clips here. Boom, boom, boom. There we go, and that looks way better already. So we're using the old interfaces, but we're using the new actual cluster itself. And I think that looks better than what this would look like. You can get your little like little cluster thing here, or whatever this is called. You kind of want to like go and try to line it up so it looks legit. But after you get it lined up, throw the screws back in it. Alright, so after I get it screwed in, it looks pretty good. One thing though, I would say for sure, is when you're screwing these down, don't go like crazy and tighten them super tight. They just need to be tight enough where it's flush against the bezel here. Alright, try to get a line, plug the controls back in with the same plugs. Oh, wait a minute. This broke. That was not me. You want to make sure these stay up here. You don't want to get pushed down when you're putting the bezel in, and then you won't be able to reach it. So try to make sure you keep them up here, but plug these bad boys in. Boom, that was another click. And they weren't bad clicks either, so. Next, try to line it up. Like I said, make sure these little out-plugged things stay up. Okay. That doesn't look that bad. Yeah, so in theory, it's supposed to snap into place, but I think whoever had it last, or went in and replaced the radio, broke every clip in here. Oh, there we go. Okay. The only clip that existed was on the bottom. Alright, there we go. Putting these screws back in the bottom. Same thing with these screws as the ones from the radio. They don't need to be super tight, right? Just really holding this in place. Yeah, there we go. Next we get our, I just had it, our clock. I'm plugging the clock and hazard switch back in. And then this just comes in and ta-da! That right there is how you fix your buttons here. And those actually feel really good. Dials. Well, there's one way to check it. The car's on. Turn it on. Alright, we're on 60 degrees. Make sure this dial works. Yeah. Fan works. Good. That all works. Full auto. AC off, AC on. Mode. We got our modes here. Auto. Off. Turn it back on. Yeah, and I didn't even hear the relay for the rear defroster, but works as it should. But that's how you really replace that. and it looks good. Like it, actually like it a lot. This air conditioning also feels really good, especially in this heat. Thank you for staying tuned to the video. Sorry it wasn't like anything super exciting, but if you guys have any questions or comments, just put them down. I make sure I read all of them. It's not really much that comes through, but the stuff that does come through, I tend to like it and whatnot. So, like I said, thank you guys for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.